All right, man. We got the shit going. I'm fucking nervous. Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Pyromancer here, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Well, there's really no way to cut around this. I know what the jailer looks like, and for those of you that follow me on Twitter, some of you are going to be very upset at this video, and I understand why. Because if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, you probably don't know that somebody who apparently toured Blizzard HQ was allowed to take their phone out for some reason and snap a picture of what the jailer concept art actually looks like. Now, when you take the concept art and you compare it to what we see in the cinematic, it's obviously the same dude. So this was actually sent to me in a direct message on Twitter, but the leak itself hasn't really made its way out yet. So I've known about this for about 4 or 5 days, and I've been kind of, so to speak, in control of what happens here. And there's been other content creators, really just one, who's reached out to me to try to talk me out of showing this. And it just kind of reinforces the idea to me that fear is a very powerful motivator. And while this individual may be looking out for my best interest, and trying to protect me from being blacklisted in the eyes of Blizzard, I kind of have to sit there and ask myself, do I actually care that much, first of all, about being potentially blacklisted? And second of all, do I let the opinion of another creator dictate what I do on my channel? Because here's what I kind of came to realize. I've never really shied away from spoilers and leaks. I have several videos about potential leaks and several videos on spoilers. I think the difference is that those people, this time, know that it's real. And I guarantee you this picture is real. So here's why I didn't want to show it, and then I'm going to explain why I do want to show it. I didn't want to show it because, as the other creator had kind of mentioned to me, it seemed kind of a disservice to some of the people at Blizzard. Like, specifically, cinematic director, in-game cinematic director Taryn Gregory, who I'm a big fan of. Christy Golden, my favorite author and writer of a lot of the World of Warcraft books. And Steve Denisser, because he is the lead narrative director of World of Warcraft. Love all these people. And as much as I appreciate what they do for us, it's going to sound fucked up, but I don't feel like I owe them anything, right? And I've actually reached out to 2 of them and received responses. And, I basically asked, what would you think if I showed this? And both of them basically said, I can't tell you yes or no. And I don't want you to make a decision based off of my opinion. And I don't know what could happen to you if you show it. But here's the thing. If I get blacklisted for showing you what the jailer looks like, I don't know that I really want to work with Blizzard anyway. You know what I mean? Of all the different things that I've tried to show you that I felt were spoilers or leaks, I think this one's actually relatively minor. Because here's the thing. When you look at him in the cinematic, you can basically kind of see what he looks like anyway. But the image that I'm going to show you today is basically just all the black parts are revealed. Like, you can see what he looks like. Here's another reason why I didn't want to show you. Because I already said on Twitter that I wasn't going to. And I think I'm gonna go back on that. And I feel bad about that. But at the same time, I think that I basically said, I feel like the picture could do more harm than good, yada yada. And honestly, at the end of the day, this is what I do. Like, I cover leaks and I cover spoilers. And this is the kind of thing where it's fallen into my hands. Of all people, it falls into Pyromancer's hands. And I'm expected to not show it. So I just don't think that I can do that. Last couple reasons, as we get closer to 9.0 and beta and stuff comes around, they're going to data mine what he looks like anyway, right? Showing you what he looks like, I don't think is a huge story spoiler. He is a new character. You can tell, absolutely, he's not someone that we've dealt with before. But you're essentially just having the appearance revealed to you in a conceptual art form. So I'm going to show you him. So if you guys don't want to see this, this is big spoilers. This is pretty big spoilers. I mean, it's real. So if you don't want to know what the jailer looks like, I would strongly suggest you click away from the video now. And to anyone that I may have disappointed by doing this, I'm sorry, but this is me. This is who I am. This is what I like to cover. And at the end of the day, as much as I love you guys and I love World of Warcraft, it's all finite, and I have to try to enjoy it the best I can. And I just can't hold my tongue on this. Like, I have to show you. So, without any further ado, this is what the Jailer looks like. I immediately see another character when I look at the Jailer, and a lot of you are probably going to know who that is. Let's get a close-up on him. This is obviously the Jailer. You can tell by the silhouette of the armor, the chains. It seems the chains are just part of his garb, and that he's not really chained down in the cinematic as it may appear. As you go down, he's got this black robe, this long white beard, kind of an off-colored skin tone, and these horrific kind of claws. A pretty interesting crown, this huge white flowing beard, which I think is kind of indicative of his age. This kind of jeweled belt, and as we go further, this like ghastly, almost spectral kind of feet. So it seems that he floats. He doesn't actually walk around. And down at the bottom, it does say Blizzard Entertainment, all rights reserved. They could take the video down because of this. Internal use only. It's pretty clear they didn't want people to know. Jailer's Tower, Eternal Prison for the Damned, impossibly vast interior with 40 levels playable, location of the Forge of Domination, source of Icecrown Citadel architecture. The Jailer 9.0 Mob Boss. And I actually have not one, but two different pictures of this, which kind of goes to show that not only was one individual allowed to take their phone out and take a picture of this, it was actually two people. So if you guys don't believe the first picture, there's two of them. So yeah, that's kind of the thing about this, is that I have a hard time feeling bad when stuff like this is allowed to be captured in a picture form. Like, people are in here touring. Why are you going to let them take their phone out and take a fucking picture of this? If you don't want people to ever see this, why would this ever have been allowed? How did this even happen? Not with one person, but with two people. Who knows? These could have been taken by employees. Fuck if I know. But at the end of the day, this is what he looks like. Now, the character that I'm referring to, when I tell you guys, when I look at this guy, I see somebody. I see Aman'Thul when I look at this guy. When we take these pictures and we set them side by side, especially this picture of Aman'Thul. Let me grab this other one. The off-colored skin, which we know Aman'Thul's blue skin, the huge white beard, the long, frothed out like eyebrows, the very sharp nose going down. I think these two look quite similar. And here's my hot take, if you will. The Jailer is probably what we refer to as Muzela. Most likely. Muzela has several titles, but for some reason people only focus on like two of them. They are Knight's Friend, Father of Sleep, Son of Time, and God of Death. Now, how you interpret Son of Time is up to you. I feel like Aman'Thul is the God of Time and probably has command over pretty much the whole time, all of time in the universe. That's my personal belief. I think that the Titans are far more powerful than most people give credit for. And in my opinion, based on what we've seen illustrated in the game, the Titans are the most powerful creatures in the World of Warcraft universe. Because let's not forget, people go, oh, the Void Lords are more powerful. No, they're not. They couldn't even directly influence Titans unless they were in a sleeping form, according to Chronicle, which I'm not so sure is even referring truthfully to the Void Lords. It's probably referring to the fucking Titans, which is why they decide to go around and find worlds and influence them prior to their awakening so that they can wake up probably how they want them to. So with that being said, it depends on how you interpret time. If this guy's a Titan, which is, I suppose, possible, a Titan that's basically watching over the Shadowlands, watching over the Maw, then it could be that in some capacity, this guy's literally the Son of Time. Now, it's said that the Arbiter predates the Titans, or at least predates memory, according to some accounts, by the way, but I'm not so sure that I really believe that either. Then again, conspiracy theorist Pyro over here, what do I know? When we look at the length of their beards and shit, it would seem that Aman'Thul is probably a little bit older than this guy. But that's just a kind of detached way of linking this to age. But it could be that this guy is death. And that brings up the question, what about Argus then? Okay, I'm going to give you two options here. If Argus isn't the Titan of Death, maybe this guy is. Maybe Argus really is just the Titan of Destruction and was kind of fulfilling the role of death as the conduit by which beings like the demons could be reborn. Okay, maybe that's it. Maybe Argus was fulfilling a role that wasn't his to fulfill in the first place. It could also be that this guy isn't necessarily a Titan, but a Titan Keeper. and I'm pretty firm on believing that the Titans are pretty much responsible for the existence of most of the other beings in the cosmos. I would continue to extrapolate from my findings in previous videos that Azeroth is the only being that is more powerful or above the Titans in any capacity. So I'm sticking to that. But here's the thing, is that this guy is also obviously incredibly old and fulfills a particularly interesting role within the Shadowlands. But looking at him, people are basically just saying, based on the plot points which we've had revealed to us previously, he's just an evil guy, and he must just be evil. But I'm not so sure that we can necessarily be 100% positive of that. Just because Blizzard says that somebody's evil doesn't mean that they necessarily are, because once upon a time, Blizzard said Illidan was evil. Once upon a time, Blizzard said Sargeras was evil, and to most people he still is. But the point remains that just because someone tells you that something is evil doesn't mean that it is, right? It's about inward and forward thinking. So yeah, this guy could very well be Muzela, and he is obviously very old, and I think that when we put him side by side with beings like Aman'Thul from an aesthetic standpoint, I think they look very, very fucking similar. I don't know if that's a coincidence. I mean, it could be. It could just be that they designed him in such a way that, it happened to be that he looks like Aman'Thul. It could be a mere accident, but I don't know about that. Either way, this is what he looks like, and I'm not going to drag the video on too far in regards to that. I mean, again, it's a reveal, but it's not that huge of a reveal because, again, I get that they were kind of going for a shadowy figure. You're not really necessarily supposed to know exactly what he looks like. But again, dude, you can see honestly most of what it is. And it could turn out that the actual in-game look doesn't look exactly like what we see here, but I have a feeling that it does. And ultimately, again, like I understand that it's a big responsibility for me to have this in my hands and for me to spread this and share this because now it's going to be out there. But here's the thing, dude. If you're going to let people take pictures of stuff when they're in there, there's going to be people that take the argument of just because someone else did it, Pyro, someone else took the picture doesn't mean that you should go and spread it. You're right. It doesn't mean that I should. But it's so hard for me to sit on this because I can't even speculate fairly and truly about this guy, and I can't say the things that I want to say while I'm the only fucking guy who knows what he looks like. And you want to know the truth of what I think? If this was at Blizzard HQ, the same fucking content creators who were telling me not to put this out there have already seen it. Because they probably got to tour Blizz HQ. Don't fucking sit around and pretend like they didn't. These people have ins at a level that I can't even comprehend. So to sit back and try to speculate reasonably and truly about this, I'm going to say it. I don't think that the people that get to go through and look at this because they have ins with Blizzard have a very, I don't think it's very fair. I think they have a fucking advantage. And like I posted on Twitter after the fact, after a couple days of thinking about it, I said, I hate to say this, man, but it would be an even playing field if everybody knew what he looked like. And so for the people that were now spoiled but didn't want to be spoiled, I don't know why you stayed on the video, but ultimately, I think this is exciting. I think it's cool to get to see what he looks like. And honestly, right now, WoW's fucking boring as shit. And for the last year and a half, for me, WoW's been boring as shit. There's nothing to fucking do if you don't raid. All I do is go back and farm old mounts. And for me, the game is just I wouldn't be playing the game. I wouldn't even have an active subscription if there wasn't things like this and things in the lore that kept me attached. If it wasn't for all these books and all the shit that I read about and my lore investment, I wouldn't even play the game anymore. So with that being said, I'm sorry if I let anybody down, but this is what I do. This is what I do. So now it's out there. It's out there. You guys, you have it in your hands. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. We are 1,000 subscribers away from 80K subscribers. And we are closing in on world domination at 100K. If you guys don't know, I do have a Twitter, twitter.com/pyromancersarg. There'll be a link to that down below. Twitch.tv/pyromancer, where I stream every once in a while. I haven't streamed in a little while. And patreon.com/pyromancer. Again, I know that I kind of gave my word on one thing and I went back on it. I'm sorry for that. But sometimes that's the way that it goes. And I kind of feel like I have to stay true to myself in this situation. And I have to do what I think is going to benefit me and what I think is most fun and interesting. And ultimately, you got to give the people what they want. And a lot of you wanted this. So I appreciate you guys very much for watching this video. Thank you so much. Stay awesome. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.